You know, in old Hindi films, you used to have scenes where they used to call people and say, "Isko sone mein tol do." This is the SRH bowling attack. They are worth their weight in gold. That's right, they're pure gold. What is the total that Sunrisers Hyderabad cannot defend? 20? 25 perhaps? Well, they might just defend that as well. I've got Zaheer Joy here with me.
You're spot on, GK.
That's my expert analysis of this bowling performance by SRH. How do they do it every time, Zach?
I think they keep things simple, and the way they're handling pressure, it's just amazing. Yeah. I think this is an example to all the bowling units. I think in IPL, just to take a lesson from them. They're just keeping things simple. They're executing their plans and not really worrying about what's going to happen. What if things don't go your way?
It's such a valid point, Zach. Sorry to cut you, but that last ball, we saw that last ball. Any other team, 6 runs or 1 ball, there would have been a conference. There would have been, conference room, everyone. These guys didn't bother.
I think just the roles of everyone is defined. The bowlers are doing their job so well, and they're doing their job so well just because they're keeping things simple.
Amazing.
That clarity of thought is so important. Everyone is understanding this is a game. There's a format where batsmen are looking to hit big shots. They are gonna be successful on few occasions, but if you stick to your plans and try and execute it and give yourself the best chance of executing that, more often than not, you're going to be successful.
Zaheer Khan did call it right. We have to say, Joy and me, we are witnesses. The last ball when Bhuvi was going to bowl, Zach said wide Yorker. It's going to be a wide Yorker. Joy, he said that.
Yeah, he was bang on. I also want to tell you about the emergence of this new thing that I've never seen before, Jonty Pathan.
Yeah.
Did you see that catch?
Nice.
Jonty Pathan, Yusuf is jumping around like he's 15 again.
Yeah.
And
amazing.
Look, the spark, that's what a happy team does for you.
He's dive, so by the way. His dive as well.
His dive, and then the best is after that Shakib's reaction. You caught that. I mean, Shakib has been a teammate with him for 6 years.
But I think the way they were going today on the field, that's why he was more surprised, because I think in their fielding department, Sunrisers had an off day. They had few catches being dropped. Especially that Kane Williamson's important catch of Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
I mean, they were lucky to get Virat Kohli after that.
Absolutely.
But that could have been a game changer. I think their fielding would have been a game changer had RCB won this match. But nonetheless, I think their bowling is just covering up for everyone. I think they're covering up for their
batting, their fielding.
Order, not
that's
really
what
firing.
I also tweeted out saying that when Rashid got AB de Villiers clean bowled, he basically said, I don't want the fielders involved anymore. Yeah. After 2 dropped catches of his bowling, he said, I'll do it myself. Yeah, I'll do it myself. It's just been one of those spectacular bowling performances. And by the way, I also got a tweet about Yusuf. Somebody tweeted me and said, "Aisa jaise lapak ke aam todte na peड़ se." Yeah. So
it's a season as well.
Yeah, the mango season. I'll try to find who said that. But let's have a look at the summary scorecard. Remember, RCB, somewhere in the 18th over, they looked like, okay, this match is done. Right? Yeah. 2 sixes by Grandhomme, off Rashid Khan, no less. And they've got the dangerous bowler. He's put away for 2 sixes. They brought it down to almost a run a ball, and you said they'll get there, but fell short by 5 runs. So there you go. Virat Kohli got some runs. Grandhomme, of course, towards the end got some runs, but there was just too much for him to do, Joy.
Yeah. Also, if you remember, we've been talking about it, that 17 is the lowest score defended in the final over.
Yeah.
They defended 12.
Yeah.
12 is 50% less. They defended 12 and defended it with 5 runs to spare.
Yeah.
Let's get this right.
But
this
that's what happened when Bhuvi was coming in for the last ball. I remember previous over when we were watching, and we said you can't leave 11 or 12 off the Bhuvi over. And that turned out to be right, because he's such an experienced campaigner. You really, on this pitch, you can't back yourself to score that many runs against him when you're getting 6 or 7 against, Sidcall.
Well, I think the problem with RCB was that they lost too many wickets.
Yeah.
We spoke about it in the mid show as well, that at 15 over mark they needed at least 6 to 7 wickets in hand. And today they had 5 wickets in hand. It's great to see someone like Grandhomme chipping in, and Mandeep has been fantastic this season. But I think at the 17 over mark, 17 over is also like a moving over of any innings of T20 match. And after after those 2 sixes, everyone thought actually, it's RCB. It's going to be RCB's game. Now 2 set batters in, the wicket also didn't fall. So you would expect Mandeep and Grandhomme to finish the match, but it's just the brilliance of I think SRH bowling lineup that apart from Shakib. You look at that bowling card, and apart from Shakib, no one has gone for runs. You look at Sandeep Sharma bowling his full quota of overs, going for only 5, and Bhuvneshwar Kumar has been fantastic. To bowl 2 overs, or actually he bowled 3 overs post 15 overs.
Yeah.
So 3 overs bowling under pressure and going with the economy of 6.75 is just commendable.
And Shakib in that took Virat Kohli's wicket. So
Yes.
I mean, it's a very, very vital wicket. So
And Rashid Khan, by the way, you're saying those 2 sixes were hit off him, right? Despite that, he's a 31. So that's how tight he was keeping it. He of course had Sid Call drop a catch. That was Manan Vora. Then Kane Williamson put one down in first slip. Regulation catch for a guy like Kane. He can have an off day in the field as well. He had an off moment, and that was Virat that was let down. And later, of course, Yusuf jumped and plucked the mango from the tree and got Virat Kohli out. But that's the one thing that we're going to do. I don't know how much time you guys have. I mean, nobody likes Mondays, but the Monday is going into Tuesday now. And in Delhi, we used to have these things called Jagratas. Do you know Jagratas? We used to sing bhajans all night. I think we should do that about the SRH bowling. We really should. We should just take out the tuntunas and do it, because you really can't get enough or can't speak enough or praise this SRH bowling lineup enough. Now they've also got 8 wins. They've got 16 points. That means they
have. I think they have.
They're set. I mean, they're set for 1 and 2 the way it's looking. Let's look at the points table now. And gentlemen, I mean, we'll show this to you. And come on, they've got 4 games left. I mean,
you would expect them to win
at least 2 of the 4, eh?
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
At least 2 of the 4.
Which means they're reaching 20. They are. Okay, here's my call. They are finishing 1 on the table at the end of 14 games.
They could very well. I mean, CSK is the only one. CSK, Kings 11 are the only 2 who can have a serious chance of catching them. Nobody else even has a chance.
Yeah.
Because KKR, even if they win all their games from this point onwards, they'll end up on 9.
Yeah.
And you'd think that SRH should end up at least on 10.
Yeah.
So it's just, and that would give them a huge advantage.
Just keep that chart there for a second. Sorry, Joy, you were saying?
No, just looking at that, I'm just looking at the numbers.
And look at the net run rate.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that net run rate. Look at just there. I mean, this team really. And we're just happy. I mean, what happens is that when we're talking about cricket and when we do these shows, we predict a lot of things, and sometimes we get them right, but sometimes we get them wrong. But one thing that all of us, I think, have been unanimous ever since the auction has been that they bought this team correctly. But it's a different thing. Buying a team correctly, Zach, we've seen a lot of people in the past, they've bought teams correctly, but to then run it correctly as well, and then to get the results. And both of you have enough experience in this.
Absolutely. I think, just picking up a squad, and building a squad, it's just a process. It's just a small part of the process, I think, and once the season starts, there are so many variables, there are so much of different dynamics, which go into the game, which defines your season. I think, look at KKR, no one expected them to be doing so well after the auction, but I think, the youngsters are doing well. Dinesh Karthik has proved to be a good captain. So there is a certain thought process which KKR also has gone with, and we did say that a lot of things has to go KKR's way for them to have a successful campaign. But so far in the tournament, I think they've these are the 2 teams which you can say that KKR has done exceptionally well, looking at how they've gone about their business, and that shows that auction is just one part of it, and going out there and building up a season, getting that momentum. Another example is RCB. I think RCB, you thought that this team, they've done their homework well. They've gone in the auction,
they bought
the right players. Bowling was a question mark. They've answered that question decently well with picking up the right kind of bowlers for the Bangalore condition. But the season has not gone according to the plan, and that depends on various other things as well, batsmen's form, AB de Villiers falling sick, picking up the combination. So when you have a squad, then after that the playing 11 also defines. Similarly with Kings 11 Punjab as well, they've Viru had made a statement as soon as the auction was done, and they picked up Chris Gayle, that Chris Gayle is not going to be playing a huge role in the season. But look at that squad right now. They're saying Gale Storm has to be there.
Yeah.
So
I have another interesting thought. You look at it, the two most successful teams at the top of the table, and the different ways that they handle their bowling. So look at Chennai. Chennai's attitude is they have 7-8 bowlers. Okay, and Dhoni's always moving them around. Suddenly, he could use a ninth bowler. Suddenly, some two left-handers come in. He'll suddenly put in Raina as well. But he mixes that pack. Always likes to have a lot of options. Mixes back. He gets results that way. Okay. These guys have, these are your 5 bowlers. Unless something is desperately wrong, all of you are going to bowl 4 overs. Go look at their charts and see how often that they've used a 6th bowler. They've normally just bowled their 5 bowlers bowling 4 each. Yeah. I trust you. I believe in you. Don't matter if you had an off over, it's fine. You'll do better the next over, and they've worked for them. It's so interesting that two completely divergent philosophies, both are working in their own way. And that's the beauty of it, that there's no one secret way to manage. Dhoni's way is also right, but what Williamson's doing with his bowlers is also brilliant.
There is a word for this. I know Joy will not like me using it because he'll accuse me of wanting the corner office. They are optimizing their resources. But listen, you've run.
Don't give me this jargon.
You've run the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. You're going to run a volleyball league now. Please, these terms can be used by us lay people as well. All right, come on. You don't have any monopoly over such words. Optimize. For the RCB batting effort, obviously, they had a good start. They almost, they were scoring at 10 and over in the power play. They wanted to use that new ball, get as many runs as they could on the board, but the SRH back 10 strangle. This is it's a management study topic, Joy. This one really is. Look at that back 10 strangle. It just keeps getting better and better.
It's what the python in the dressing room. After the 10th over, it crawls out and catches the opposing team.
Yeah, it really does. And Virat got out in the 10th over, and that's when this number actually would have looked a lot worse. It's worked in RCB's favour because of Grandhomme and Mandeep a little bit towards the end. But in the end, just not good enough.
And the SRH fielding also today not
helping RCB.
Helping
the 12th player for RCB today
SRH
was
sure.
the SRH fielding.
The key is the bowlers are creating wicket-taking opportunities. That's the key. After you take a wicket, the next man coming in, you can squeeze in some dot balls. Build that pressure. I think today's match, the key was Virat and AB. Yes, they got the start also. Scored those 55 runs in the first 6 overs, which was a bonus. For Virat and AB to take a bit longer in the middle overs. But I think once again Rashid Khan proved to be the X factor for SRH. And those four overs are so vital, for Sunrisers Hyderabad. The way he chips in and the way Kane Williamson has been using him. I think that 1 over of really tough over, which is 17th over, which Rashid Khan is consistently bowling for Sunrisers Hyderabad and creating that momentum shift more often than not in the game.
There was the Sid call 19th over as well. That over was again fantastic, Joy, wasn't it? Because he only conceded 7 runs, and that ensured that Bhuvi had more than enough to play with.
Yeah, absolutely. It set up the final over. I mean, really. And what happens is, if you look at the result, that why is there a 5-run deficit? If they had been, say, 9 or 8, they would have played that last over differently. So the 19th was a crucial over, and again bowled under pressure, tremendous pressure. And they've delivered again and again and again. And
to back a guy like Sid Kaul at that point in time, because how tempted, Zach, would Kane Williamson have been to say, all right, let me bowl Bhuvi in the 19th and choke them completely, because the 19th sometimes can be the big over, at least especially when you're defending. And let me give 19 to the experienced guy because there's only 19 required in 2 overs. He'll choke them, Sid Kaul will have enough, but he backed him. And he didn't.
I think this situation in previous season, you'll see that more often than not, Bhuvneshwar Kumar was bowling the 19th over. But it's just how Siddharth Kaul has evolved as a bowler this season. He's looking very good. So captain has enough confidence to put up that kind of a responsibility on Siddharth Kaul and saying that, okay, fine, you are bowling the 19th over. Bhuvneshwar, more experienced guy, knows that how to handle pressure in those kind of situation. And Siddharth Kaul has been bowling all these 3 balls well. I think He's making use of the short ball very well. He's bowling that knuckle ball extremely well.
Excellent.
And he's got a decent Yorker. So these three variations he's been using it very consistently. And you've seen in this format that someone like Bravo has been so successful. It's not that he's doing a whole lot of things. He's just mastered those 2 or 3 things so well, and that's something which with Siddharth Cole also falling into similar kind of category. He's not overcomplicating things. He's just saying, okay, these are my 3 deliveries. I'm going to use 24 balls I have per game, and I'm going to stack them up in this fashion.
Yeah.
And that's something which really helps, because then you're not thinking too much of a result. You're just focusing on processes. You're not going in terms of what happened in the previous delivery.
Yeah.
Previous delivery can be a wicket, previous delivery can be a 6-4 dot ball. You're just saying that, okay, these are my 3 stock deliveries. I'm going to just focus on that. I'm going to use them wisely. Yes, I'm going to get the reference of what happened in the previous over or who the batsman is. But predominantly, these are my deliveries which I have to practice, which I have to master.
Stick to them.
And then the execution becomes that much more easier.
Perfect them. Joy, will captains now be saying, let's just bat first against SRH?
Yeah, they would. I would. We were talking about this in the beginning, that if you know that they're a side that does that, there are 2 things. One is they'll be very good at it. The second is that it will play on your mind that no matter what they get, they have a chance. So that's what I would think, that if I was RCB, I would just say I would have played open and played with a free mind, and the pitch getting slower as it goes on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think captains should, against a team like this, just go out and back themselves to bat first.
Well, today it's been all SRH. And see, normally we're very happy because T20 is a batsman's game, loaded in their favour. So we want a bowler to win a man of the match. But in Hyderabad and with the SRH bowling attack, you want a batsman to win the man of the match.
It's Kane Williamson, man.
It's Kane Williamson. Kane Williamson has won man of the match. It's his second, I think, of this tournament. He scored his 5th 50 today. So this guy is in form. He is confident. His resources are coming along nicely. His choices are correct. They're paying off.
Can you imagine?
Where are we today? The 7th? It's the 7th going into the 8th? 27th of May, Kane Williamson will be holding up this trophy.
Big call. Big call.
But playoffs always tricky.
Bol diya catch.
There's a man wearing 7 in Chennai who said, noted. He won't say more than that.
On 7th, you can't say something about the guy who's wearing.
One second, it's just gone into the 8th. Otherwise, it would just probably be blasphemy, wouldn't it? It would be blasphemy. It's got to be them. It's got to be one of them. They're going to play the final. I'm saying SRH and CSK are going to play the final. As Zach is saying, anything can happen in the playoff. But 7 and Kane is, what number is Kane? Is it 27?
No, I think Kane weighs, I've forgotten Kane's number.
Come on, everybody. Quickly, who can tell me? Can people answer before somebody on Twitter tells me what is Kane Williamson's number? Let's see. Have your tweets come in? You have. I've got a tweet from Rishabh Sethia. Where am I reading this from? I'm making it up. Okay, well, we have one game tomorrow as well, of course, or later today. That game is going to be in Jaipur. Of course, they played a game, what was that? Yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
they played just yesterday. Have travelled together from Indore to Jaipur, holding hands on the plane, and probably staying at the same hotel, and they're going to take a bus and go to the same bus, friends. And they're going to be there tomorrow. And Rajasthan Royals will be hoping that they can change the result.
No, Kings will be very happy to play Rajasthan Royals again, because in the last game it suddenly looked like RR is just a bit out of sorts.
Yeah.
They are struggling to kind of get the right kind of combination with the batting order, and it just kind of trickling down to the team's performance. I think it's not looking a stable unit. I think from the outside you get a feeling that there are too many minds working on achieving the result, and when the minds are not in sync, usually you have a bit of
you also called yesterday.
Yeah.
You also said that you feel that Ajinkya is not getting the kind of sort of power and hold that he should have as a captain, and that's always a concern. Joy, will there be a little bit of a morale booster for Rajasthan that they're back in Jaipur? They like playing at the Mansingh Stadium.
They do like playing at the Mansingh Stadium. Having said that, don't forget that the actual classy spinners, the classiest spinners are right now on the side of Kings 11.
Yeah.
Ashwin will like bowling here. Mujibur Rahman will like bowling here. They might even deploy a third spinner. So they may not mind playing on this track at all. It's not the kind of track that and their big men have the ability to clear anywhere. I mean, for Gale, 80 is what, 80 ho, 90 ho, 60 ho, it's okay.
Yeah.
If he clears, he will clear. So I don't think, a lot of other teams don't enjoy coming out here with the big boundaries on the sides and, spin this thing. It may not be that bad a thing for Kings. I think they'll play these conditions better.
We've got a little graphic to support what Zach has been saying about the Rajasthan Royals changing their batting order around a lot. And there you go. They've had 5 batsmen opening. They've had 5 at number 6. And it's just moving everybody up and down. Zach, and that's never good for a team.
That doesn't really help. And your main player who's been having a fantastic IPL is Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
So there is no way you want to tinker with his batting order.
Yeah.
So you have to keep him at number 3, but that didn't happen in the last game.
Correct.
For the reason that you don't. The management doesn't think that Ajinkya Rahane is good enough to open the innings.
Yeah, but yesterday, that's because they had a traffic jam at the top, right? They wanted Joss Butler to open. Darcy Short can't bat anywhere else. Do you see one change happening tomorrow? Do you see Darcy Short going out? He's probably at the end of his rope, and them getting Klaasen as a finisher somewhere down below?
See, but the traffic jam is created by who? That's the question.
By the non-functioning lights?
It's not a it's not a signal which is not working. It's the accident which has happened in the start of the IPL, which they have not been able to just move the vehicles from the side.
Yeah, but then look at the number of openers there. Like everyone fighting for this: Rahul Tripathi, Ajinkya Rahane, Joss Butler, Darcy Short. And then when they get Klaasen into bat, they back him as an opener, which did because in South Africa, I don't know if you know the domestic, but at least when he was playing for South Africa, he was playing in the middle. He was not opening. He was playing number 6.
He was a finisher.
If you bat the finisher in the first 6 overs, you're wanting the innings to finish sooner than.
What RCB what SRH is showing you, and sometimes teams like RCB and RR are seeing is sometimes it's possible to be too clever. You can have too many ideas and you can have too many thoughts and you try to tinker too many things. Once you have a basic plan, give players are very delicate creatures, they are mentally very fragile creatures, give them security, give them simple things that they understand and do it well. And that's what they're not doing. Sanju, every time you see that Sanju has had a run, even in Delhi, once his batting position was moved, he was not the same player. Sanju needs to be secure about where he bats. That's the kind of boy he is.
I'll just pull up the Rajasthan Royals 11 again. Of course, they lost to Kings 11 Punjab in Indore yesterday, and they're playing them again in Jaipur tomorrow. That's the return fixture. We'll just pull up the 11 again. Do you see any other changes happening, gentlemen?
Or maybe Dhaval might be coming back.
Might be back,
It might have been.
The ball is full quota.
Yeah, it might have been a forced change.
It's probably a forced change.
There might be some niggle
injury. It's a
injury.
niggle possibly. Yeah.
So. The real chance which RR has against Kings 11 is Kings 11's middle order has not been firing. So it's very important that they play on a track which is going to be conducive to fast bowling. Hope that Gale and KL Rahul gets out and then expose Kings 11's middle order. I think that's their best chance of winning the match. If that happens and someone like Jofra Archer or Unadkat and company comes together to restrict Kings 11 Punjab to a decent total, I think then they have got a good chance.
You're not looking at any changes in this. You can't see any changes happening in this, right?
I think it's not. Given this team, I think it's good for them if they don't change. If they tinker around a bit more, I think they've come to a combination that's reasonably set. I mean, of course, Mayank Agarwal being Mayank Agarwal will make me happy, but whatever it is, I think they shouldn't tinker right now. They have something set now. They should go with it.
Are you guys going to call tomorrow's game? Because I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so if you want to call it right now, and then I can call you after the show tomorrow, and if you get it wrong, I go,
I think Kings has got a good chance.
So you're saying Kings, Joy, you're saying?
I'll go with the Kings as well.
You're going with the Kings as well. Okay. I say there's a storm warning in that part of the country, so we may just have 1 point each for both teams. That's what I'm saying.
That's another way of RR's
smart call.
Walking away with some points from that game.
Mind you though, it will help some teams. That single point always breaks up the tie.
It always does, and there is going to be one washed out match in this tournament. There is every time. There's one party spoiler who sits on odd points and then messes it up for everybody else. And it's going to happen. But of course, if RR loses tomorrow, they're going to be 3-7.
Yes, fir moti aurat gaegi, or as they say in English, the fat lady will sing.
You know you can't use words like that anymore, right? You have to say the gourmet challenged, or the nourishingly challenged, or the slightly healthy,
yes,
or the prosperous. We're using
one sec.
We don't have to use politically correct words. We're on the internet.
Exactly.
Come on, move on. That's fine. Fat lady is the fat lady. Well, she ain't singing right now. She's singing for us right now because it's time for us to go. But before we do, the answer to the joy factor, and of course, who's the winner? Because we know that winning this quiz, one of the toughest quizzes that you have on cricket, is actually a matter of great pride for you. So, first the question and the answer, and then the winner.
Okay, the question: what connects a Ranji Trophy final in March 1990 with the Australia-England Adelaide Test match in January 1991? And it's a fascinating one. In 1990, Sneashish Ganguly was playing for Bengal, and he was the regular middle order batsman for Bengal, and he was dropped and replaced his own brother. Saurav Ganguly replaced him, and Mark Waugh got a call saying, "You've been picked to play for Australia." So he says, in place of whom? He says, in place of Tugger, that's his brother. So Mark replaced Steve Waugh, Saurav Ganguly replaced Sneashish Ganguly.
Wow, that is phenomenal.
So that's
now that you know the answer, can we put the question back on again? I just want to put the question back on if we can, because it's really interesting to now look at it. It's like watching a murder mystery after you've seen who's the killer.
Then
Right?
it seems so easy.
It's like watching again. So the Ranji Trophy final in March 90. So that was Bengal playing against?
Bengal played Delhi.
Bengal played Delhi in that. And then of course there was the Ashes Test match in Adelaide in just what, 10 months later. Wow, that is quite a cool one. Sir,
It's a fun one.
we hail you, sir. We hail. We hail.
Hail all the guys who got it. They're amazing. I don't know how they get it, because see, this is one you can't see the scorecard and make out.
Yeah.
You'll see Saurav Ganguly's made his debut. You'll possibly see that Mark Waugh made his debut. But to connect the fact that they made it in place of, so many people have made their debuts, but
Correct.
that made it in place of their brothers is the operative thing. And guys got it here.
That's amazing. But who's our winner for? I mean, first of all, hats off to all of you who got it. We got so many correct answers, and those answers were flying off the bat. They were flying faster than Chris Gayle sixes in a power play. It really came fast and furious. But the winner is Sandeep. Congratulations, Sandeep, and you have won today's joy factor. This is pretty cool, man. It's just, Zach, this is a good one, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be happy seeing this one.
I don't understand his questions anyways.
This one's an easy. Come on. It's not fair.
Sir, you know what usually happens, right? When we say over to you for the joy factor and it cuts to the graphic, we both start checking our Instagram and our Twitter. We're like, ye nahi samajh aayega, beta. Rehne do.
I write quiz questions. He takes 300 test wickets. There's a slight difference.
But you find the facts first and then you base your question on that. Is that the way
I don't know. It's a combination of it. Sometimes I just sort of troll around for facts and all. See, I'll tell you, cricket, man, these interesting things stick with you. Like there's this one player called Clem Hill who scored 99 in a test match. Next match he scored 98. Next match he scored 97. It sticks with you. You know, sometimes your head, this kind of data sticks. So it's fun.
But a magician never reveals his tricks. So he's not going to tell you. Though yesterday on Instagram I did show you the file and the folder in which Joy keeps all his questions. For the right price, I could give you the answer, yeah? No, there's no corruption here. But you can send us your tweets. #CricBuzzLive. That's where you can send in all your tweets, any questions that you have. Tomorrow we're going to be here at 7:30 as well, of course, talking about the game that I predict might get rained out. No, it won't. It's going to be a good game. I'm not going to be here, so it's fine. Thank you so much, Joy Bhattacharjya. Thank you so much, Zaheer Khan. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Gaurav Kapur, and on behalf of our entire Cricbuzz Live crew, I just want to say one thing before we leave. Where is Ajit? Ajit, where are you? We're missing you. I'll find him by tomorrow. All right, good night. Don't do. 4 aadmi bhejo.